Hey, good afternoon. This is Michael B., and this is our continuing podcast on romance scams. As you know, this is our series where we talk about these scams, how they develop, how they get built, how they flourish, and how good people are pulled into situations, financial situations, and financial obligations before they even realize what's happening. I know this because, unfortunately, it happened to me, so I can speak to this firsthand. Now, this is what I do partially. I speak out about these, okay? Because I don't want this same thing to happen to you or your family. Now, I wasn't going to record for a little while just to give things a chance to breathe. We've already gone through 20 episodes. This is 21, but something happened, and I hope you're going to stay with me because this one is a little bit different, okay? But notice the patterns. Notice the puzzle pieces falling into place. This is not about a romance scam, but this is about a scam. It shows how prolific they are and how these scammers are using just about every trick in the book to get into your back pocket. Let's go ahead and start. This one did not happen months ago. It didn't take months for a relationship to develop. It happened last week. Again, it didn't start with a message that looks suspicious. Puzzle piece in place. It started with something that looked like an opportunity. Another puzzle piece falls into place. So here's the setup. I was contacted about doing a radio interview. It's by a well-known station out on the East Coast. The communication came through email. It was very, very professional, very well done. The message was clear. Michael, we read your book as a team. We want to tell your stories to our listeners out here in the New York area. Would you be willing to sit down with us and record that and let us share your story, your message with our listeners? And I told this person, of course I will. I want this message to go out to as many people as I possibly can because it's important. I do not want your feet on the path that my feet are currently on. It is brutal. And I can't relay that message clearly enough. So getting back to this story, we scheduled it. We recorded it. And I will be very honest. It felt very legitimate. The conversation was real. The topic mattered, of course. It was my story. I could speak to it. I've lived it. The production quality was very good. It was amazing. The hostess asked just the right questions, and the interview went almost, in my opinion, perfectly, if you will. Okay? Nothing about it felt like a scam whatsoever. Just like most scams, is because it wasn't supposed to feel like a scam. But here's the pivot, another puzzle piece. After the interview, I received a follow-up email. Everything still sounded professional, positive. Michael, the feedback from our listeners was amazingly positive. Your language was strong. It was a powerful message. Your story was incredible. You did so well, and we are very appreciative of you being willing to share that. Okay? Okay. Of course, I will do that. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And then Guess what? Yeah, there's a fee. Michael, would you mind paying for the production costs? We're a small, relatively small, but well-known radio station, and most of our funding comes from contributions. It's not large. It's only $50. And here's how they framed it. Okay, so again, money over the internet, big puzzle piece, very big our rule violation, right? It should be one of our rules. Anybody asks you for money over the internet? No, you're getting scammed. So I knew I was. But here's how they framed it. This is the final step. We'll release the files to you, that file. You'll have complete ownership rights to it, which was ground I thought we already covered, but here it came again in writing. You can put it with your podcast link. You can use it for your book link, and you'll own it. Okay. Oh, there's a second option. It's a little higher tier. It gives you more exposure, more reach, and probably better results. Okay. We'll air it more than once. So you see the emotional pull? It's happened quite a bit through that. So another puzzle piece, another pattern fit. Not a romance scam, but guess what? The pattern is the same. The pieces are falling together. Here's the part that matters. Okay, with most scams, there is pressure. There is urgency. With this one, it's a little bit different. We'd really like to get you on the schedule for this week. Can you do it? Well, sure. Okay. But so there was really not a threat, and it felt like an opportunity. That's what makes it dangerous. There's a lot of things that made it dangerous, but that opportunity piece, okay, that's another puzzle piece. Dangerous. Danger, danger, danger. Flash, flash, flash. Because here's where my mind was going. You know what? This can help. This is good exposure. Oh, and then after the money piece came in, you know what my head said? It's only $50 to help people. You see, even though I've been scammed, and even though my guard is up, even though I'm extremely cautious, I still believe in people. Even though despite the situation, I still believe most people are good. And I think they are. And I think that's what helps the healing process as well. Okay? I'm still trying to build something with this podcast. Still trying to get the message out with the book. Okay? But the pull was real. I was trying to help. It wasn't because I'm weak, not because I'm not intentional, and it's certainly not because I'm not careful now. It's because I'm human. They asked, I felt like I could help, so I said, let's do it. Of course I'll help. But notice the patterns. The ask isn't random. Notice the structure, how it falls into the scam and the setup, and how it's all orchestrated. Authority, a recognizable name, a credible platform, then the validation. Hey, your message matters. Your story is important. Then the value, the interview itself. And only after that, the ask. Small at first, then larger. Different setting, same mechanics, right? Same mechanics. Now, this should have been my first step. And if you're thinking that, you're right. But this is what stopped it. First, when they asked me for money over the internet, that broke the rule. Boom. Done. I'm getting scammed 100%. I knew it. But I took one additional step. It wasn't complicated, and it wasn't emotional. I just made a phone call, not to the number in the email and not to the contact I was given. I went to the official website, found their main number, and called them directly. I introduced myself to the person that answered. She was awesome. But I just asked a question. I said, hey, do you charge guests to release interviews? And she goes, Michael, what are you talking about? And I said, well, I interviewed with somebody from your station last week so that you could put it out to your listeners. Michael, I don't show you on our guest list. Yeah, I kind of figured that. And then I just asked a second question. Does the person whose name I gave you work there in this role at all? And she goes, hold on a minute. She goes, I'm looking at our directory. And she goes, no, they don't work here. So everything became extremely clear. Okay. It seemed like a great opportunity. Should I have made that phone call first? Yes, absolutely. But I didn't. I was still trying to help. Okay. That doesn't excuse it. Okay. I just let my guard down for a second. It doesn't excuse what I did, but I did take the extra step to validate. Okay. Real opportunities stand up to verification. Scams do not. They can't. It's a scam. It cannot stand against any kind of verification. Okay? They don't change when you check on them. And they don't fall apart when you ask questions. And I'm referring to real opportunities. Okay? So be aware of what these scams look like. They're dressed up as opportunities. They are dressed up as credible situations. They're dressed up as, hey, here's some access to a situation that will be very favorable for people that you're trying to help. But I caution you to slow down long enough to see the structure. As soon as we talked about money or they asked for money, I knew it was done. I knew 100% being scammed. But that's just one other way that they're trying to reach into your pocket. Okay? Is it a romance scam? No. Is it a scam? Yes, indeed. But they're getting very clever. And with AI, I don't know how many of those emails went out, how many true crime books they looked at and went, hey, you know what? Your book has an amazing message. And the same kind of thing. It's just $50. I hope that you can see the patterns. Okay? They show up in different forms, in different places. And the way that you can protect yourself isn't by knowing every single scam. You can't. They're just so clever and they've got so many going. Go through your email. I went through my email yesterday, Monday. Oh, thank you for your payment for your Microsoft Office. We billed you. Well, I know that my Microsoft Office isn't ready until November. Oh, thank you for your iPhone payment on PayPal. There was another one for DocuSign for my taxes. I filed an extension. Okay? They're coming at us from every different direction and every way possibly that you can imagine. Not just about romance scams. I think people lose more money in romance scams, and I can hold my hand up to that. But again, they're coming at us in every way that imaginable. Okay? Watch for things that just don't feel right, that are just a little too easy, that are just a little too aligned. I hope you'll pause and step back, and I hope you verify. And if it breaks any of our rules, the rules, money over the internet, teaching you how to invest, you know, starting a relationship that, hey, let's not share this with anybody because they wouldn't understand. Let's just keep it together for us right now. Okay. All of the things that maybe kick off that little spinning red light, pay attention to that. That is all your experience, all your knowledge speaking out to you. Thank you for spending this time with me. I really think that this is one of the most important messages that I've shared so far with you. Okay, and I hope that you'll share it. Continue to please stay vigilant. You know, people are good, but there is a sinister faction out there that they just want what you have. Don't give it to them. Don't allow yourself to be victimized. Okay? Once again, if this episode helped you better understand how these situations work, I hope that you'll share it. Please continue to think about it. All these messages, evaluate every single one of them. Don't let your guard down for one single second. That's all it takes. Just that nanosecond of, hey, you want to be friends? Sure, why not? Of course. We all need more friends. You don't need friends like that. I will guarantee you that. So again, awareness is a powerful tool. Let's keep talking. Let's keep educating each other. Let's keep supporting each other and making sure that we stay vigilant, not just as individuals, but as a group of good people, people who care about other people. Okay? I hope you'll join me next time. We'll get deeper and deeper into how the romance scam that I was involved in, how it unfolded, and it does go deeper and became much more challenging. We'll share that so that you understand that we're not quite done there. Okay? But until we speak again, stay aware, stay protected. Seriously, please protect yourself. Protect the people that you love and protect what you have. And as always, always, always stay safe. Thank you for spending your time with me once again today. I'm Michael B.